Jai Guru. This talk is called You Are Not the Doer. This may be a very basic teaching that you're all familiar with. However, how many of you apply it to your daily life? It is a tragedy to go through life asleep and never wake up from the dream because of our limited, uninformed perspective. You do not know who you are. To say that you underestimate yourself is itself a massive understatement. Because of the relentless pressures and conditioning that you were under, you took the dream to be reality and remained ignorant of your actual value. Functioning in the dark as a mere mortal, sadly and all too often, plays out in the following way. Quote, you have come to know yourself as a person called so-and-so, of a certain or uncertain sex, who has lived for X number of years on this planet. You think you are the doer. Every day you get up, do this and do that. The years pass by, often too quickly, as the monotonous routine of it all carries you along. You work, eat and sleep. Some of you are single, while others are married, maybe with a family. You look forward to the holidays with your family or friends, a break from the relentless daily drill. Life is not without its pain and suffering. Sometimes you are happy, and at other times you are unhappy, even depressed. But rarely or never do you stop to ask why. You handle it stoically, like you handle everything else. Once you're on the treadmill, it is not so easy to get off. You just keep going and cope with everything as best you can. You grow older, maybe fall ill, and then you die. Your body is cremated or buried, and then after some time, a headstone is erected in your memory, saying something like, she, he, was a wonderful, kind soul, a bundle of laughs. May he rest in peace. Is this the meaning of life? Busyness, job, career, family, friends? Is this who we are? Is this what our existence is really all about? Or maybe if you end up in the hospital with a terminal illness, you will start scratching your head. It may only be then that you begin to think about life and its meaning. You worked hard to take care of your family, and now, at say only 50 plus years of age, or thereabouts, long before you're even entitled to claim your retirement pension, all you have to look forward to is an encounter with the Grim Reaper. It is so unfair. Angst-ridden, afraid and angry, you cry out, why? Why me? This is the scenario we don't want. Unquote. We are not what we take ourselves to be. The body form is not the be-all and end-all. It is the medium through which we can know ourselves. We are not merely persons or separate individuals with needs and wants. We are not wives or husbands with families, jobs, mortgages, cars, etc., or single, unmarried or divorced persons. We are not individuals or separate entities at all. You cannot take anything with you when your body expires. You cannot take your husband, wife, or your children with you. You cannot take your status or any of your treasured assets. Whether you are willing or not, whether you are ready or not, the time will soon come for you to leave the body with all its illusory attractions, possessions, and attachments. The life you tend to take so seriously, this often complex and intense life you are so wrapped up in, is an illusion. Any and every transient thing is an illusion. This life is nothing but a long dream, a phenomenal appearance, whereby thinking, knowing, and doing activities apparently occur. The thoughts, feelings, and experiences are not part of your true nature because they are constantly changing. Rid yourself of the false ideas you have about yourself, such as being a separate entity or a doer who's in charge of your life. Now is the time to embark on your greatest adventure ever, to find that which never changes. We live in a fast-paced world, a busy world, in which we are always on the move. We never seem to stop. We always seem to be going somewhere, doing something, attached to our constant companions, our mobile phones, like zombies. Even when we're out walking or driving, we're on the phone, catching up, taking selfies, or texting somebody or other. There never seems to be any time left over for us to just stop and catch our breath. We do not seem to have any time to pause, to sit and just be. We are frequently in transit, constantly under pressure of those seemingly important things that need doing, people to see and places to go. There's so much happening. Stop. Touch base with yourself. Take some time out for yourself. Take at least 1 hour out of 24 to check in and catch up with yourself. Breathe. Be with you. Meditate and contemplate. All your apparent happenings are taking place at the imaginary level. Nothing is in fact happening. You are not doing anything. You only think that you are doing all these things. Where are you going? Who is going anywhere? Catch your breath. Stop now. Today, not tomorrow. Take a look at yourself and contemplate the most fundamental question: who am I? Take time out to reflect while you still can. Get off the treadmill. When the body expires, by then it will be too late for you to find out who you are. You're not the doer. You are presence. Without the energy of presence, you would not be able to smile, let alone take a selfie. You cannot see or talk without your presence. Without presence, your eyes, mouth, ears, etc. are just indents, holes in your face. Without presence, you cannot do anything. Without presence, the body is a dead body. You cannot go pubbing or clubbing without presence. Can a dead body go to the bar and order a shot of tequila? Can a dead body dance? You're not what you take yourself to be. Your smartphones will not help you to discover who you are. You are not a person or a self, but self without self. We call it selfless self. When we talk about the self with a small s, it refers to everything that has come along with the body, the mind, the intellect, the ego, the senses, feelings, knowledge, identity, memories, in brief, all that can be conceived and perceived, which is false. When all this illusory body-based knowledge has dissolved, then what is left is true, selfless self. Selfless self is empty and free of content, free of illusion, free of an I. Selfless self is just another name for presence, for one's spontaneous, invisible, anonymous presence, which is beyond identification. While selfless self indicates our essence, oneness, our identity that is beyond words, self relates to our body-based knowledge and body-related illusions, such as I am somebody who is the doer, I am an individual. There is no somebody, no doer, and no individual. Self points to the identification with the illusory body, myself, herself, himself, which is body-based knowledge, whereas selfless self indicates no thing. Your presence is within you, but you have not been aware of it because you have been giving your attention to the world and neglecting selfless self. The visible is an illusion. The invisible or the hidden is reality. Everything exists inside of you. Nothing exists on the outside. The world is the projection of your spontaneous presence. Your presence existed before beingness, and it will continue to exist after beingness. In between the before and after of your bodily existence, you have mistakenly accepted yourself to be the body form and considered yourself as something. However, this perception is a mistaken one, a grand illusion. This world fooled you into accepting yourself as a separate entity, an individual self. For a long time, you believed yourself and everyone else to be individuals in the forms of women and men. Myself, yourself, herself, himself, etc. But now, no longer. So, how do we stop ourselves from getting caught up in life's dream when it just seems to sweep us along at speed? We need to learn how to start pressing the pause button. How can we do this when we seem unable to meet all the demands of our working life and home life? We need to slow down the engine. Remind yourself that you are not the doer. Everything will not fall apart if you pause and take time out. Take some alone time. Train yourself to be, to just be without doing anything. Train yourself to enjoy your very own space. If you do not awaken to your true nature, it means that you will live and die as a mere woman or man, pretty much asleep, from the womb to the tomb. You may want to stay within the circle of illusion because it is familiar and safe and keeps the predictable and at best entertaining show going. That is understandable. However, the real you is not some kind of robot built to act and react. Why not get out of the driver's seat and let selfless self drive you? Why not stop holding on tightly to everything and instead let selfless self direct you? You were never the doer, you just thought that you were. You are not the body or the mind, but unborn and formless. You existed before beingness, and you will continue to exist after beingness. You are the central point of the universe. That is your reality, the knowledge that was hidden from you. So how do we apply this knowledge to our daily lives? We do it with dedication and self-involvement. We usually only make progress when we throw ourselves wholeheartedly into a task. This transformation process is no different. When we are entirely involved in finding a solution to something, we find it because our concentration is complete and one-pointed. Similarly, when you are absorbed in this knowledge and giving your undivided attention as you read, hear, practice and apply it, self-transformation occurs. So how easy is it to find out who you are? It is both easy and difficult. If you are eager and earnest, it is easy. If you have a burning desire to find out what your existence is all about, this drive alone will motivate you and propel you forward. What makes it difficult is that in order to inherit the treasure, you must reject everything you have accepted as valid until now. There is no doubt you need some courage to let go of everything you mistakenly thought was you. We are attached to so many things. It is no wonder we still find it challenging to give them up, even when we know that they are false. Here, when we say give up, we are talking about a shift in perception, a change of view, internal detachment, mental detachment, emotional detachment. Self-surrender or renouncement does not mean physically abandoning or separating yourself from your family, friends or things. Not at all. It means using discernment and discrimination to disidentify and detach from these powerful and controlling forces and attachments. Understanding dissolves ignorance. We are using a thorn to remove another thorn. Both thorns are illusory, nevertheless, when the right knowledge takes the place of wrong knowledge, the illusion dissolves. Put very simply, when you supplant the concept of I am a woman or I am a man with I am ultimate reality, the light of awareness shines. You may have thought you were in charge and made everything happen, but you now know that was only ego talk. You are not the doer. Your existence is spontaneous. There is no you who is doing anything. Contrary to what we may have believed, everything happens spontaneously. Perceiving yourself as the body form and taking everything for real was the cause of the confusion. Leave behind this misperception. Your spontaneous presence is behind everything. Without the power of presence, you cannot do anything. You're not even capable of thinking. I'm not the body, I'm not the mind, I'm not the ego or the intellect. I am unborn. Let this be your understanding. Let this be your reality. When the knowledge of your true nature penetrates and breaks down the illusion of who you once thought you were, when everything liquidates, you will come to know for yourself that the entire world is your spontaneous projection. Quote, I used to think I was in the world, but now I know that the world is within me. That will be your realization. So give up your old habits of assessing and evaluating everything using the mind and the intellect. Don't let King Ego control you any longer by keeping you in a constant state of busyness, stress and fear, which he loves to do, watching you do this or do that, so that you never have enough time, enough space to just simply be. Don't get lost in the business of doing. Instead, allocate more and more time to being. Let the transformation take place. Contemplate on your presence. Don't give any headspace to personal worries, anxieties and problems. Be and remain in that impersonal space. When all the illusion has dissolved at the final stage, and you no longer identify with the body-mind, you will be gifted with a priceless and indescribable reward. Unimaginable, blissful contentment. You are already reality with all these riches, but you have not seen this for yourself. You have not taken the time out to look deep within, to know and experience what you are. Find out what you are. Your ultimate purpose is to wake up from this dream life. We were misguided into thinking and believing in doership. This misunderstanding caused us endless problems. We will never find complete happiness and peace as long as we consider ourselves to be mere body-minds who take everything for real. Don't buy into whatever is happening around you. The combination of presence and the 5 elemental body created our dream world. Identifying ourselves as separate individuals who are disconnected from everyone else has dramatically complicated our dream existence, which we call, quote, our perfect or not so perfect life, unquote. When you start to know that everything is within you, your focus will naturally shift from the world to yourself. Look only within. Don't look anywhere else. Listen only to yourself. Don't listen to anyone else. Read your book. That means you are to go within, look and listen. Your book is the book of answers. All your questions will be answered from your living fount of knowledge. You used to think you were in charge and doing everything. Now, little by little, you are finding out that everything happens spontaneously. including the appearance of the body form. A lot of hammering, repetition is necessary if you are to accept reality and begin to alter your entrenched views about yourself and the world in which you live. You have lived your life with the mistaken notion that you are the body form. Therefore, some resistance is bound to be there. Dropping all your conditioning is not easy, since you have identified with the body form for so long. However, as long as your body-based knowledge lingers and the illusory impressions continue to influence you, you will not be able to understand these teachings about your spontaneous presence. It is up to you to clear out your old house. In short, the entire world is your spontaneous reflection. There is no I, there is no doer. You were never the doer. Without your spontaneous presence, you cannot see, talk, or do anything. Begin the rewiring process now and change your perspective. As this knowledge of your reality bypasses the mind, moving and stirring within you, you will experience a strong feeling of relief, something like, now at last I know the secret of my existence. I have wasted so much of my time until now, but not anymore. That feeling is indescribable, better than any lottery win. And later on, when you're older, you will have no regrets, like in the earlier scenario. You will have no regrets whatsoever. Jai Guru.